Hi guys, Penny here for a Friday night Facebook Live. A lot of times we have class on Friday night, and when we don't have class on Friday night, crafty class at my place and on Zoom, then if possible, I like to try to do a Facebook Live. Hi Sharon, thanks for tuning in. I'm just checking to make sure that this is on my computer. And Facebook Live. Yep, it is. Good deal. Hello, Sharon says. Thanks. How are you guys doing this evening? You're on here. Cheryl's on here. Hello. How are you guys doing? Missed class tonight. I know, no class tonight. We had it last week, the week before. I think we had it maybe 3 weeks in a row. I'm not sure. And then, of course, next week we have bingo. So we'll get some big winners on bingo. So I figured this week I had lots and lots of work to do with the product share. So to prepare for a class, in addition to preparing all the materials for the product share, would be a bit too much for the week. So that's one of the other reasons for doing Facebook Live tonight instead of a class. So, Sharon, oh good, I'm glad you're doing great. We did, and seems empty this week, I know. Oh, hi Kathy. Thanks for joining us. Cheryl was here, but it looks like she might not still be here now. I don't know. My count on here, and I don't know that it's ever correct telling me how many people are on, but if a couple people have found me, that's good. I still haven't committed to a regular day of the week and a weekly Facebook Live. It's too difficult to plan and prep classes and then also do Facebook Lives. So as I was saying at the beginning, I tend to do a Facebook Live if we aren't having class, then I can work it in. But that's never a regular. Maybe at some point I'll get to a regular thing. Hi Renee, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're here. Lori popped in. Hi Lori. I used to know Lori when she lived, well, I still know her on Facebook, but I used to know her in real life when she lived here in Nebraska, but she moved away a while back, so. Yours, Kathy says 2 important people. Mine says 7, but I don't know. But yes, 2 important. Oh yeah, now yours says 7 also, so. Anyway. Well, as you guys know, I start out, hi Mary, thanks for joining us. I start out letting you see my face, even though I haven't been doing a lot of makeup stuff lately. I've been, you know, hi Lori. Since we wear a mask everywhere we go, yeah, I don't spend a lot of time on my face. But I did get a haircut. Got a bunch of hair cut off yesterday. And it's shorter and got more layers now. Hi Rita. Thanks for joining us, Rita. I don't know if you do crafty stuff, but this is a lot of fun, and I hope you stick around and enjoy it if you have a chance. A lot of times people see that I'm live and they pop in and they wonder what I'm all about tonight. Tonight's all about more crafting. Paper crafts usually is what I do, Stampin' Up. Although I did get a couple orders, 3 orders this week for more vinyl crafts, so I need to work on them. But I tend to do more paper crafts than anything these days. So tonight's card, I put on the Facebook Live notice that I was going to do a masculine card, but it's not a Father's Day card. So I know a lot of people will say, I don't need a Father's Day card. I'm with you, you know, since my dad's passed and then Rod's dad too now. I don't really need any more Father's Day cards. I made a Father's Day box for Rod to put some gift in for him from the kids, but anyway, so this will be a masculine card. I'm making it as a birthday card. Of course, you know, I can change it up to anything else I need it to be. But hi, Emily. That's a different Emily. You guys that know me know my daughter's Emily, but Emily Mintz is my friend Jennifer's daughter. So, okay, I better turn it around and we better get going. So let me see. Let me turn this. Come on. And let's get it in my holder for you. Pardon all the moving around that's got to happen while I do this, but I want to get it so you guys can see well. That looks pretty good. Looks like what I'm going to do will be in the camera. Somebody give me a heads up if it's not. And I didn't hide the card. You see it right there in front of you, what I'm doing tonight. The thing called the Scrappy strip technique has been all the rage lately in a lot of card making. I've seen a couple Australian demonstrators do it lately. I don't think it's brand new. I think this has been around a long time. It's just kind of seeing a resurgence right now. So, that's what I'm doing tonight since I've been seeing so much about it. If you would like to like and share this video, this post right now, share it on your page, my live video here, then I will end, and then make sure you write on here that you've shared it once you have shared it on your page, and I will put you in a drawing for the card if you want. I did a drawing for my blog post that I showed the cards we made last week. I showed off those cards on a blog post and I did a drawing. I said at the end of the blog post that if you commented and said what your favorite color was, I would draw from those people to win a card. Win the card of their choice, the color of their choice from that group. And I did the drawing today. And I only had a couple people participate, so your chances of winning were pretty good. But this time it was Grayson who won. She read the blog and posted a comment on the blog. I know here on my page, Kathy had posted, so her name was in the drawing. But it's a pretty low turnout as far as my drawing this time. So guess what? I'm going to encourage you to share and like this today. Okay, now my comments no longer keep up for me, so I started out telling everybody hi, but I may not see you if you join now. So after the video, I'll make sure I go back and see. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody, but if I do miss telling you hi, it's not intentional. So the crafty or scrappy strip technique is, as you would imagine, it's a lot of strips that you use. If you are a person who has a lot of scraps sitting around your room, this is a scrap buster. You can use a lot of scraps to make a pretty card. The important thing, though, is you're not just going to use any old random scraps laying around. It's best if you use scraps from a color family that goes well together. Using your color coach is a good idea for this because your color coach tells you things that look well together. Or pull out a designer series paper pack. Usually the papers in a designer series paper pack are already in a color scheme together that looks well, and the patterns themselves, everything kind of coordinates together, so that's a great idea to do. In fact, is it setting over here? Yeah. I dug out, some of you remember the sailing, I think it's called Come Sailing. Yeah, Come Sail Away designer series paper. It retired the 3rd of June, but I pulled this out and I'm going to make a card later with this as well, using this same technique, because I've got a gentleman I need to send a card to, and he won't much care if it's retired paper or not, to be honest. So I'm going to use that retired Come Sail Away paper on it. And then I also have die cut, already stamped and die cut, a couple of the sailboats from the Sailing Home set that I will use to accent the card. There is such a lag on my screen. I'm starting to wonder if I'm still going live because we have been having internet problems. Uh-oh. Well, no, it looks like I'm still there. If there was a lag or a time when it went out and came back in, I'm sorry. Any of you that are my friends, you might have seen on my Facebook page yesterday I wrote and asked about internet, Allo as an internet provider, because we've been having nothing but problems lately. So if this drops out, I apologize. But Somebody give me the heads up if that happens. Okay, anyway, back to that. I'm going to do the same technique, but I'm going to use the sailboats as an accent, and I'm going to use the Designer Series paper from that pack. This pack, some of you guys recognize, it's the New In Colors, and I'm using pieces from the Designer Series pack for the New In Colors to make this card. And it's really, really simple. The inside of my card, I have, I've made this one a happy birthday, as I mentioned. I used the Trio corner punch just to give a little bit of a decorative flair here. And I made the layer on the inside a 1/4 inch smaller than I usually do. This is 5 by 3 3/4, and then punch the holes so that more of that pretty blue shows through. The Happy Birthday sentiment is from the Seaside Notions stamp set. I like this Happy Birthday. It doesn't look at all feminine, as some of ours do, so I thought this was a good option for this card. As I already mentioned, I've used my Designer Series pack of New In Colors, because each sheet you get 2 different patterns, and each sheet has 2 different patterns on it. So that's a total of 4 different patterns for each color. And that's important in this. You want to have different patterns and different colors that are cohesive. So that's what I've done there. For the dies, I'm using the die set that goes to the Sentimental Bundle. I'm using the stamp that says this calls for confetti. The stamp, and then these 2 dies both go to that set. So I think I've told you everything I've needed. And then, of course, Whisper White, and the card base is the New In Color Misty Moonlight. So, all right, we'll get together. For the card base, I used 8.5 by 11, and I cut it at 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So there's my card base. I've got a 4 by 5 1/4 layer that I'm going to use on it, and right now I have a 5.5 by 4 1/4 piece that I'm going to build my strips up on. Okay, so I'm going to move this aside a little bit, and you can see what it'll do. I've already cut some of the strips, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to cut these, so I'll do a couple more for you. Let's see, what color do I want to do more of? I've got quite a bit of green, blue. I'll do a couple more blue. There's no real magic measuring to this, which at first it kind of looks like there is, and you think, how in the world am I going to do that? But it's really quite simple, and it's kind of random. So, take your piece. Oops, I should be using my Stampin' Up! Trimmer. Let me grab that one. So you just take your scrap that, like I said, they're all going to go well together. You've already decided, you've laid them out and they look good. You take it and you're just going to cut some wedge pieces off of it. And I was going like putting this at about a 1/2 inch mark and then at about a 1/4 inch, but not every piece that same way. I wanted it to not be precise every time. So I would just roughly do something like that. Cut it, and you've got this wedge. And get a bunch of those, and you're going to build your card with it. So we'll do that now. This part takes just a little bit of time, so bear with me. I thought about kind of already doing some of it starting out, but then I didn't think that would be a great idea. So I'm going to start. You can start with whatever color, whatever pattern you like, but the important thing is to start off, your first strip is going to be straight, so that later when you put it in the cutter, you've got a straight edge to work from. Okay? Oh, I almost forgot. I use my silicone mat under here because you get a lot of glue everywhere. Well, not a lot, but you know, you get more than you plan to. So your first strip needs to go straight at an edge. After that, now we'll get wonky on things, but we need one straight edge to work from. And then it's just a matter of randomly putting pieces where you think they'll look best. No particular rhyme or reason. but you do want to leave a little bit of a border in between of white. Okay? You're going to have to trust me on this, that it's going to look messy, and you're going to say, no, 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 no. Can't deal with that. But believe me, it's going to get better. Okay, I think I'll go big down here. Do I like polka dot? No, I like this side. And I'm using liquid for this, liquid glue. To me, that seemed to work the best, but if you're a tape runner gal, I think you could make that work too. I think we'll go with another green. This time we'll use this one. You're just alternating patterns and sizes. And not making them look organized. You kind of want a random aspect to it. And I think I'll go this one now. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Almost forgot. That one's got writing on it. I do not want my letters to be upside down. There we go. Glad I caught that. Okay, there we go. I was looking to see if there are any questions. Yeah, that corner punch is good, Cheryl. I do like that too. And thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. I think I'll do another skinny green one, and then I'll go back to yellow. I just don't want it to look like I've gone on purpose. Yellow, green, blue, yellow, green, blue, yellow. I want there to be some out of order. Okay, so now I'll go yellow. And I haven't used the wood grain side on a yellow yet, so I think I'll do that one. There we go. So we're getting there. And you have to be able to tolerate glue fingers. There's just no, whoops, I moved that guy when I moved it. There's no two bits about that. You're gonna get glue on you, and you have to be okay with that. There we go. You get a little sticky, in other words. I think I'm ready for another blue. Blue is my favorite on this pack of, or this new set of in colors. I do really like all of them, but I'm always a blue person, and I know Mary is too. I wear blue, I wear black a lot, but I thought these three colors look so good together. See how it sticks down there? That's why you got to make sure you're on your mat. Okay, I think I'm ready for a green again. I think we'll go with the words. I don't have one of those up there yet, so let's put it on here. And then let's see, make sure I got my words going up there the right way. Yep. Maybe another yellow now. Maybe this distressed look on this yellow. What did we call it? We decided that looks like a pre-washed jeans, didn't we? That's what it reminds me of anyway. I don't think we'd call them acid washed. If I remember right, acid washed is pretty bleached out. Let's do a blue one again. And I don't have a blue polka dot yet. Oh goodness, gotta fix that. As I mentioned, I've been working on the product shares like crazy. And good news is, except for the ribbon that's on back order, I have one pack of paper left to cut tonight and then finish labeling things up. I've got all the ribbons cut, wrapped, labeled. Rod helped me with those. And I've got all but one pack of the paper ready and cut. I just need to get the dividers with the labels in them for that. So I will be able to deliver this weekend, or you can pick up if you're out and about and would rather do that. But it will be ready for people. My friends that ordered it from out of state, all I have to do besides that, oops, I won't polka dot. The last thing I have to do on yours, besides what I already mentioned, is I need to get your make and takes. If you're doing my bingo class, I think there's at least one person out of state who has the product share and also has the bingo class they're doing. I need to get your make and take packet for bingo in there. If I can get it in there. If I can, then that'll save you some money on shipping. If I can't, then that'll have to go separate. But, okay, that looks like a mess, doesn't it? And you're like, that does not look good. But we're going to make it look better now. So these scraps I've got over here I didn't use. I'll keep and do on another project, I think. Or I'll just throw them away if I've felt like I've done enough of this particular card. Give this a second to dry before we trim it down. While I wait for that, I think I'll go ahead and stamp and die cut this piece out. Cue, this calls for confetti. So since my card base is the Misty Moonlight, I'm also using that for my ink. Okay. And as I said, I'm using this die, so I want to kind of get an idea of that die, how large it is before I stamp, so that I know I've left adequate room for my die to fit around. There we go. Close this so I don't get my arm in it. While I die cut that, I might as well die cut the layer that's going to go behind things. Let me get my big shot up here. I was going to ask Sharon if she saw the updates this week regarding the new die cutting system. This week's updates has some information about that I know Debbie will be interested in. So make sure you read that and relay to her. Or I can do that myself also if you'd like me to. But I know she's been eagerly awaiting information on that new machine. So it gives you information about when we as demonstrators can find out more about it. Oops, yeah, that's wide enough. I have to pass it through by itself. If it was a small scrap of that paper, I could have passed the sentiment through at the same time, but there we go. Don't want to lose my dies. Let's do this one next. Don't worry about getting the big shot in the screen and the image for you guys all that well, because I know you guys all know what a big shot looks like and how to use it. There we go. And if you don't, I'd be happy to show you and teach you more about that, but there we go. So this one I already die cut out ahead just so that there'd be less. But this is the circle from the Stitched Shapes framelits. It's the next to the largest circle. Not the largest, but the next to the largest. I thought it gave an interesting layer behind this piece. I just liked how that looked. I tried this die, that's from the same set. I tried this one, but it was too big, I felt like. So I thought this stitch circle was just enough to show that off. Okay. This guy, many of you might not have known this. This scalloped rectangle fits wonderfully right inside this shape. And if you were doing this, say, in colors and more feminine looking, I would definitely add like maybe a gem here and here. But since it's for a guy, I'm going to leave that off. I don't know that they'd appreciate it that much. And then I popped up this part onto here. I popped this. You could also pop then the whole thing again. I did not, because this is going to go in the mail. I left it at one layer of pop-up. But if you wanted to, you could definitely add more, because it's hard to imagine too many dimensionals, I know. They add so much to a card. There. And I've already shown you guys, and I know you've seen on every other demonstrator's video, but when you use the dimensionals, you're left with this frame all around them, and you cut those and use those up too. So every little ounce of dimensionals gets used on our cards. We never throw away any dimensionals. Okay. And I'm going to center this on here. There we go. Okay, so this should be dry now. So we've got that ready to go. We'll come back to this piece, okay? So I need to start with that straight edge that when I first started laying strips, I said you want a straight edge. So I'm going to that straight edge. Whoops, that's my score mark. There's my cutter. So get this off. Now I've got two straight edges I can work from, and that's great. This card, the layer that this is gonna go on, I said this is 4 by 5 1/4. I want this just slightly smaller, so I've got a small border of white. So, and since this is 4, this one can be 3 7/8. Whoops, wait a minute. I don't want to do that. That edge isn't my straight edge. I want this side. 3 7/8. And then this is 5 1/4, so this can be 5 1/8. Yep. There you go. See if there's any questions on here. Oh, Sharon, yes, you saw. Oh, good, good. Rod is our team mascot. You bet, man. It was kind of fun though. I don't know if you guys, he's gonna say, why do you tell everybody this? So I watch a lot of old shows, and I have discovered now that I'm out of school, you know, we're off a bit. I have discovered that Magnum PI is on in the afternoons. And so I turned on Magnum PI the last couple days, and we sat there and cut ribbon and wrap it all up while we watched these old-time Magnum PI. When we first got together, Rod and I, that was a show that was on TV. And some of you may know that instead of having a great big wedding, we had a courthouse wedding with just our family and like two friends in our family. Because then instead of spending money on a big wedding, we went to Hawaii for our honeymoon. And that was like during the time that Magnum PI, that show was just coming out. And I remember they were taping in Honolulu while we were there. And so we always fondly think of that show and the beginning of our married life together. I don't know, kind of silly, but it's a memory for us. So anyway, I've got that on that small border of white cardstock. You saw me, I used liquid glue. When there's a narrow, small border, liquid glue helps you kind of get things centered a little easier. So we'll put that in here. And you can either use liquid glue or a tape runner at this point. Or you could pop this up with dimensionals. It would look really pretty. Like I said, it just depends on how much dimension and depth you want. I guess I should have asked if I'm going to give this card away, the person who's getting it, who we don't know who that is, but they might have liked to have it popped up. There we go. Okay. Now, well, that's an envelope. What did I do with the white layer that's going inside? I don't know, but luckily I always have some pre-cut. I keep a few card bases and a few pieces that for the inside of the card. I keep them pre-cut. And then on nights when I don't have a lot to do, if I'm not too lazy, I'll come in here and I'll maybe cut a few things to replenish the stash. Then I just label them so I know what they are. Okay, so what did I do with my, here it is. My happy birthday, I'm going to use again Misty Moonlight. I'm going to move it down here just so I can see, guys. I'm going to try not to get it crooked, but my head's not over it. Oh, pretty straight. Good. Not bad. And then this is that trio corner punch that I showed you guys earlier. And to use it, you think you have to push the side that, so there's a hole for like if you're doing tags and you want to thread some trim through. There's a corner rounder, and then there's this decorative one. And you think that when you use it, you push the side that you're doing, but no, you push in the whole middle. And you get yours. But when you feed it in here, there's guides that get you just right to the right spot. I call it like a gutter. It makes me think about bowling, and when they put the gutter things up so that your ball stays right down the middle. I needed that when I used to bowl. I'm not a very good bowler. Okay, so there's that. And the reason I punched these holes is I thought that looked so good because of this base being dark. It really makes that pop to me. I mean, everybody's got their own ideas, but I liked it. A little bit of liquid glue. Again, this inside is about a 1/4 inch smaller, this layer, than what I sometimes do, so you get more of the blue around there. And then when I use liquid glue, if I think about it, I'll take my bone folder and do this to help spread out that glue. Otherwise, when you go to write on this, it can be a little bit uneven if there's globs of glue. So now we're going to do this one. Since this is the one I'm going to mail, I'll pop this one up for whoever's going to get it. Oh man, I'll be almost done with this guy. Don't worry, I've got a dozen more packs over there. Never running out of this stuff. Circles, and if they're small enough, you can get away with 3 dimensionals. If they're a little bit bigger, I'll usually do 4 things so it doesn't sag. I thought about putting some twine or something under here, but again, on a masculine card, sometimes over embellishing can make it but a little bit, maybe, ooh, what about white baker's twine down there? Even though baker's twine is no longer available through Stampin' Up, do I still have some? I bet I still have some in my stash somewhere. That might look good on there. Hang with me 1 second. I'm going to go get baker's twine. Find white. What about this? No, I don't think I like that. No, I guess we're going to skip it. The new in color ribbon piece of the Misty Moonlight under there would look so pretty, but as we all know, that's back ordered, and so I don't want to use it up here. There we go. Good deal. Awesome memories. Oh, thank you, Mary. They are awesome memories. Rod and I have been blessed with a happy times together, and ooh, I got an idea. These aren't too feminine looking. The new in color enamel dots. We're going to use those babies because I just feel like it needs a little something. A little something something, as they say. Let's see. And on our cards last week, I would have wanted to use these, but these are really small. I needed a bigger size to go in the center of these flowers that we did last time. And so I didn't use these on that, but I think they'll be just perfect on here. I'll put, obviously the green would be good, maybe. Maybe a green one there. And a green one here. Another option would be is if you scattered like 1, 2, 3, but this is patterned so big. I think that if you, oh no, I did get the letters upside down on there. Oh my goodness. After I said that twice, I'm going to have to see if I can salvage it. Oh well. But I think that these would kind of be lost on this pattern if you just put them randomly on there. They would just be lost. They're not big enough and the paper is too patterned. So that is the card. Pretty simple. The Scrappy technique is an easy one. You just have to make sure that your papers and your colors really look nice together. Just because they'll call it a scrap buster, as I said, but there needs to be a little bit of design or a little bit of artistic flair to that. So, oh, hi Cora, thanks for joining us. Let's see, I probably missed some comments because it only shows me like the last 2 at a time on here since it's live. Or the last 1, 2, 3, last 4 at once. Yep, Mary, I knew you loved Misty Moonlight. Yeah. You and I both always go for the blue, I think. Although I like green a lot too, so. But in most cases, those are my favorite colors. Anyway, simple card. If you try this out, send a picture on here. I'd love to see what you guys do. You can literally do it with designer series paper that you've got on hand, as long as they kind of coordinate together. Get out those colors from the color coach and see what goes together. I don't know. This is fun. So, I don't really have anything else, girls. I updated you on the product share. The bingo prizes have arrived. So the bingo is, there's going to be some good prizes for everybody to win. Nothing else. Any questions? Anything? Hope everybody has a good weekend. I'll talk to each of you individually that live local about getting together for your stuff. I told Sharon about the update on the Big Shot thing. Can't think of anything else I'm missing, guys. Oh, for those of you that have seen, I'm helping a friend out. I'm doing a Pampered Chef online party. Do not feel any obligation, but if you received an invite from me to that group, I just wanted to explain why. She's a friend. I used to work with her son. She has a young daughter who's less than a year old that has very significant medical challenges and difficulties. And they have exorbitant medical costs associated with their dear daughter. And she recently became a Pampered Chef consultant. Well, I don't know how recently. I shouldn't say that. But she became a Pampered Chef consultant to try to earn some extra income. She works full-time, but to earn some extra income to help offset some of these terrible medical costs that they have. Insurance does not cover a lot of the things their young daughter needs, and it's very sad and very crazy. So anyway, long story short, I'm doing that Pampered Chef party for her. And so if anybody was going to need Pampered Chef anyway, it would be helpful to her if you placed an order through it. Don't feel obligated. Do not order anything if you didn't already want something. But if you did, she's a great person, and I love helping out people that I know are so wonderful and are struggling. And in her case, it's not fair that insurance doesn't want to cover some of these things that their daughter absolutely needs. So let me know if you want an invite to that group if you didn't get one. If you did, and you can exit that group if you're in it, and feel free to exit it if you want to. I won't be offended on, and she won't mind. So anyway, Take care, guys. Poor Kathy, your emojis aren't good. Uh-oh, what happened with Kathy's emojis? They look good to me. Love the idea. Yeah, definitely do this card, guys. It's easy. It challenges you to not be so precise. You want the strips to be different widths. You want them to have a different look that way to them. So anyway, okay, I'll talk to you guys later. I'll close for now. Thanks for joining me. And next weekend, most of you I'll see for bingo. So we'll get together soon. Take care, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.